Is the goal to turn Spotify into an entertainment hub? Will I be able to get movies there one day?
I don't think you should think about it as movies. What we really want to do is we want to anchor it to lifestyle and music primarily. So the reason why we got into this is really to enhance music, to do more than music, is really to give more music moments in our users' lives. So as an example, the commute is a huge time when people are listening to music. But in order to serve it, we need to serve news and traffic reports and other things as well that people care about.
Right. So that's the traffic, weather, sports, all those things, podcasts, BBC, NPR, all of that will be coming through as well. But you also, I mean, at the launch event, you had the girls from from Broad City there, and that kind of video, which works well in short format and could work well on my phone or my iPad. That's not a music-based experience.
Right. It's a lifestyle experience.
So Spotify wants to be a music and lifestyle brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Let's talk about, let's talk about this. If I want to hear Taylor Swift's 1989 album and I go to Spotify, I end up listening to a Ryan Adams record. What's up, dude?
Well, it's the everlasting question about Taylor. So I mean, again, there are certain artists every now and then that choose to not participate on the platform. We would love to get her back, and I'm hoping that within a not too distant future, we'll be able to work something out.
Her concern was that she didn't like the perception that music is free. It's something that she's devoted her life to. She works very hard on it. I know you and I agree with that idea. Two things. What's that argument? Well, what's that argument of hers mean to you? How do you respond to that? And what did her leaving the service, how did that affect you?
Well, at first, we agree music should not be free. It has a lot of value, and it should have a lot more value in society than what it currently does. And what we really want to do with Spotify is we want to grow the entire music ecosystem so that we can have more artists support themselves off of music. So we do agree with her there, and we do care. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to move still a huge chunk of these people that are on platforms that aren't monetizing music at all into legal environments, which does, such as Spotify. And with Taylor specifically, I think the truth is that you could go on YouTube, or you could go on Pandora, and you could go on to a bunch of other services and listen to her album as well for free, where she might have been compensated or she may have not. And that was really our point of view, that that today it's really hard to prevent a customer from getting access to your music for free. And the impact it had on us, to be honest, was that the middle of America all of a sudden found out what this thing called Spotify was. So we had a huge success on the basis of it. But truthfully, I wish we could have gotten that attention in another way than pissing Taylor Swift off.
Or just or just think about this, get her back, and break up with her again.
Right.
Even more of America will know. All right.
Definitely.
And by the way, the breaking up thing is a business model that works for her as well. So since we're sitting here at an advertising conference, let's talk a little bit. You have an advertising business. Let's talk a little bit about how that works, what advertising means to you, and how it works on Spotify.
Well, fundamentally, we think sound is underutilized. Everyone in the advertising industry talks about video. But what's so interesting with a platform like Spotify is that we have like 2.5 hours of engagement of our users live every single day.
2.5 hours a day?
Yeah, that's the engagement of the daily active users that we have. So there's an enormous amount of time that our users are listening to music, which they can be reached at with messages. And this is something which is very complementary actually to the Facebooking and Instagramming and Snapchatting and so on. So I think that there will be a sort of renaissance of sound in a way, much like it will be in music itself, where we're really trying to move the audio ads to the next level in terms of quality, but also in terms of how you interact with them as well.
But advertising, just to be clear, when you're reaching them with those messages, you're reaching the freemium user, not the subscriber. Is that right?
Right, that's true.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Apple Music. A lot of people have talked about the entrance of Apple into the streaming world. The phrase, the coming streaming wars, is one I read a lot on my Twitter feed. So are they coming? And also, what has the entrance of Apple into the streaming world meant to you?
Well, we kind of look at it a little bit in a different way. I think we're still sort of fighting for most of our existence. We really fight against ownership and moving people into the fact that the access model is the future. So to have the world's largest company and also the one who kind of cemented ownership now also say that the access model is the future is a great thing. And I think too many people look at this as a sort of winner-takes-all scenario when, in fact, we're just in the beginning of this journey of moving the billion-plus consumers that are listening to music today online. So for us, it's really great to have more people investing in this space, trying to drive the market forward and not be the only ones who are kind of moving the torch forward and saying, hey, streaming is the future.
So the idea is there's room enough for everyone at the table?
Yeah, definitely for the next couple of years, because this is really about growing the industry. This is not about stealing market share from each other, because the market right now is so small and it's so early. The number of people that you know care about music are in the billions. They're not in the tens of millions, which both Apple and ourselves are currently at. We're getting closer to 100 million, but there's still just a fraction of the amount of people that care about music and want to listen to music.